Okay, so it hasn't been an hour yet, but what I've been doing is I couldn't help myself but carry on shaping the leather. I couldn't help myself, and I had to retighten the bit of Velcro here as well. So what I'm using is I just grabbed the potato peeler from out of the drawer. Okay, and I was just so that I could get in a bit sharper into these areas here to try and yeah, make the mold a bit better, help it mold in a bit better. So get that in the center. Okay, so all I'm doing is just shaping it, just getting it in there, and that's just going to help take up some of the slack that this sheath actually has. Won't take up all the slack, I doubt, because it has got a bit of movement, but it certainly will take out some of it. And so yeah, I've just been doing this, just sort of tittering around with it ever since I got it pretty much in here. Apparently some people leave it for about an hour and then come back to it and carry on shaping it, but yeah, this is fine if you want to just keep shaping it, but I reckon it's going to turn out fine. Okay, so the other thing I was going to do was I've cut my nails now so I can really get in there, and you can see me getting around the beard here. That'll take up some good slack on the actual sheath itself. Okay, and now I'm going to just apply a bit more spray to these buttons here, okay, because it has got water on it, and I really don't want them to rust. So the problem is it could rust on the inside of this. I don't know if it'll have any effect, this CRC, on the actual leather. I doubt it. Shouldn't make any difference, really, I reckon. It's more important to me that these don't start rusting on the inside and everything else. Anyway, I just thought I'd come back and quickly just show you where I'm up to. It's probably been around about, I don't know, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes. I'm not really keeping track of it. I don't know how long this is going to take to dry out, to tell you the truth. It might take a few hours. I'm pretty much in no rush for it, as long as it comes out nice and tight fitting, where there's not too much movement. I'll be happy. That's all I want to do. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I'll be back shortly. I'm back. It's the next morning now. It's been probably about, I don't know, 8 hours, and I've let the sheath cure, well, not cure overnight, but set in place overnight in how I had it, and it's the leather itself still feels a little, I don't know, it feels fairly sort of dry, not 100% dry, but it's I would say probably about 90% dry. Okay, you can just sort of feel you can't feel any moisture, but you can just, like as in wet, you know, like water, but you can certainly feel sort of like a light moisture maybe that's still in the leather, still there, because I haven't let it dry out from the inside yet. Okay, so I've left it like this to dry naturally, not in the sun, not in the heat, with a heater, not with a blow dryer, not with an oven, anything else. I've just let it set on its own, just in normal temperature. Okay, and as I said, we're in the middle of winter, so but it's feeling a lot better. I've taken the Velcro off. So, and I just took the Velcro off a couple of minutes ago, and that's how she's looking. You can probably just see it's come up here, so it's curved around nicely under the bottom. So I think that should help it hold in place quite well. Under the bed here, it's got I've taken out a bit of, got a bit of the indentation there, so that'll take out a bit of the slack out of the sheath, and same on the other side. Again, that will, under here, that will help to take out some of the slack. And I've sort of on the top, you can see I've sort of made it sort of kind of straightish, where it'll wrap around a bit better. And probably the main part would be along the lid here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unclip this. I'm going to actually take it off for the first time, and I'm going to put a bit of CRC on these snaps here. Okay, on the inside. Just as I said, I don't want them rusting. That's a big part of it. Now I could have done these other two snaps that I did for the mod. I could have put these on last, like done all this first and then put these, attach these. But I wanted to mold or shape the leather with these on it. Okay, I didn't want to go doing this and then having to put them on. Yeah, there's the risk of them getting rusted during this process, but as long as I'm using CRC, it seems to be working fine, and I can't see any rust yet. But I've got to do the inside. So I'm going to quickly open this up now, so you can, and probably it'll give me an opportunity to see how it's going to lock back in place. Alright, so I'll take this out. Now I could probably let this dry out on its own like this, like just close it up and let the air get into it to dry. That is an option. Now I could have put CRC onto this I could have put CRC onto this blade instead of using Vaseline in the first part of the process if I wanted to, but as I said, Vaseline's a dime a dozen. It's a lot cheaper than using CRC. You could use oil to protect your blade. Just taking any excess CRC off. Okay, it's all good. There's no rust showing that I can see at the moment. It's all good. Okay, so the next thing is, let's see how she fits back in. No problem at all. There's no movement at the moment. I don't want to pull too hard because it's probably still a little bit there, but nowhere near as, I don't know if you can see that. a little bit of movement, but I mean that's to be expected, isn't it? You know, it's still got the a little bit of space there with the plastic bag, but no, that fits in fine, and that's way better. You can feel the fit is better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this for probably I'll probably leave this like this for today, for the rest of the day, probably about another 8 hours or so, and then I'm going to take the blade out, okay, and then I'll just let this, I'm going to let the sheath dry out on its own without the blade in it. So I'll give it another 8 hours. And then what I'll do is I'll apply some more CRC to the snaps. Alright. The sheath should be, I would say, pretty set in place by then. I'm going to the extreme here, okay, just to make sure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some dubbin, okay, which is just a leather protector, revitalizer, I believe, okay, and I'll just apply this to the leather, probably on the inside and out, mainly the outside, but I'll probably apply some to some of the inside that I can get to, just to revitalize the leather, just to give it back some nutrients and whatever from dunking this in the water, okay, just to give it some life back into the leather itself, while it's in its shape that I've given it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll come back when I might come back and do a couple more videos of those parts, but I don't think it's really necessary. Alright, so 8 hours, I'm going to leave this for 8 hours like this. Then I'm going to take the blade out, let it air dry on the inside as well, a bit better, probably for another 8 hours, maybe 12 hours, who knows. And then I'll apply CRC as I go to the buttons, and then eventually I'll apply some dubbin, and that'll be it. It'll be done and dusted, okay. And then I'll just clean off the Vaseline off the Chogan tomahawk head, and it'll be all goods, alright. And I'll show you the end result. Okay, I'll see you shortly. Okay, welcome back. So I was actually going to wait 8 hours approximately, but it's ended up being closer to 11 hours. However, I'm going to take this out now and just recheck the rivets, well, not rivets, but the snaps here, and for any rust, and it doesn't look like there's any on there, but for just as a preventative measure, and I'm probably going over the top here, I'm just going to put some more CRC. For those that don't know what CRC is, that's it there, CRC. Okay. And I'm just going to put some more on, just to prevent rusting. Better to be safe than sorry. It's not like anything bad's gonna come from it, but hey, you know, prevention is better than cure. Right, preventing the rust is better than trying to cut it all back out. Just wipe off any excess. And now what I'm going to do, that should hopefully be the last bit of CRC that I need to put on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to re-clip this back on. Okay. Like so, just re-clip it back on. And now I'm going to leave this to air out on its own. Okay, now it's just been sitting in a a room that's had no sunlight in it. It's been cold in there. It hasn't had any heat or anything like that all day. Okay, I didn't do that for any particular reason. I just put it in there so that no one would go tattooing with it, go touching it, okay, and playing around with it. So yeah, so that's how it's looking at the moment with the actual studs here, okay, for the whatchamacallits, okay, they're still at quite a good angle here. I think that that's not going to affect how they work at all from stretching everything out. I think it's still going to work fine. So the key now, that this lip here that I was talking about that came down here, that's gone, okay, that's now just sticking up over here. You can see it there, alright, from that angle. I don't know if you can see it, okay, but that's it down there now. Alright, so all I'm going to do is just put this to the side somewhere, and I'm going to let that dry out. I could put it in front of the heater if I go down and get some gas for the gas bottle and whatnot. With the actual tomahawk head, I'm going to do just take that out of the plastic bag. As you can see, no rusting has occurred with the Vaseline that went onto it. Okay, and might as well spread some of this around the rest of it actually, and utilise it for now. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wipe it all off. Wipe the top layering off. Always wipe away from the blade, preferably. Okay, this is sharp. It's sharp, but it's not. I mean, it's sharp, certainly, but it's not. It's not razor sharp. It's pretty sharp. I'm going to give this a touch up at some point. Maybe this weekend I might do that, or I'll probably do it after I'm really considering taking the paint off this. Okay, taking the paint off and giving it a mirror polish, or close to a mirror polish. Just mainly for the blade here, on the blade. Just using your fingernails, you can feel it's quite got graters and that in it. Or craters, okay? It's got craters and that in it. You can feel it's quite, you know, it's sort of roughish. I reckon if I smooth all that down with a Dremel tool, it'll just cut better. Okay, it'll cut better. It won't grab as much. Okay, anything to do with friction when you're cutting through things, any kind of friction will affect your cutting. Okay, the smoother it is, obviously the smoother it is, the smoother it's going to glide through things. Okay, so that's just something I might do. I don't know yet. I'd like to. It'll only take, I don't know, a day. Good project to, taking the paint off shouldn't be too much of an issue, but the actual grinding it down and then sanding it down and whatnot, it'll probably take about a day. You know, just sit down, watch a movie and do some other bits and pieces and just, you know, crack away at it. Should be all good. Okay, so next thing I want to do, just let that sheath dry out from the inside now, okay, help it to dry out, and then I'll apply the dubbin. Alright, that's it there, dubbin. Alright, and this stuff here is just a special blend of waxes, and it just helps maintain the suppleness, or preserve and maintain the suppleness of the leather. Okay, if you want to read that there. Alright, there's different products that you can get. That's what it says on the back if anybody wants to read it. Okay, there's different types of products that you can get, I suppose, but I mean, this stuff's just a dime a dozen. It's quite cheap, you know, it's not that much, a couple of bucks and whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and then I'm not sure if I'll come back when I do put the dubbin on it, when I apply the dubbin. I'm probably going to leave this. I mean, it feels, honestly, it feels reasonably, you can feel a bit of moisture, a bit of dampness in there. I'll probably leave this overnight again, just leave it over. I mean, it's no hurry, it's no rush to try and get it going again, you know what I mean, like start using it and everything else. There's no rush, just take your time on it. A lot of people want to rush things, and there's just no reason to rush it, okay? Just take your time. So I'm probably going to leave this just overnight. Maybe get a gas bottle, heat up in here for the night, and that'll help to also dry it out slowly. I'm not gonna fast dry it. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with fast drying it. It probably won't make any difference, but I don't know. I'm just gonna let it dry or cure in its own time. Put that here. Anyway, I'm going to pause it there and see you shortly. Okay, so what I've done is I ended up attaching the other part of the pouch, or the sheath, back to this main part of the sheath here, just to help keep the two, keep it all in line over here. Okay, the snaps in line, and what I ended up doing was I ended up putting this into the hot water cupboard. Okay, and I left it in there for about 12 hours. I just grabbed it out now, just to help it like dry a bit better, but a slow dry. Okay, just a slow dry, and it's turned out nice. You can feel all the moisture's come out of the leather now, and it's really set into place really well. So with it fitting in place, placing it into the sheath, okay, snapping it in, okay, it's really nice now. Okay, I'll take these other two snaps off. Actually, don't need those on anymore. Take those off, but the sheath really holds in place well. I'll just try and turn this around a little bit. Okay, you can see here it's got a little bit of movement, but it's a lot less than what it was. Okay, up and down, it's a lot better. Okay, I'm really happy with that. It's just less chance that I mean, it wasn't going to come off anyway, but it just helps to really lock it in place. And I'd say that little bit of movement that it does have now is probably due to a little bit of the plastic bag, but hey, that's okay. Not a problem. Okay, so the next thing that I was going to do is I was going to do the last bit of CRC on it. It hasn't got any rust on it at the moment, but I'm going to put some CRC on it anyway, again, just to be on the safe side. And that'll probably be the absolute last coat of CRC that I need to put on here. I can't see myself needing to put any more on there. Sorry, hopefully I was in shot there. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is just get some dubbin. Alright, and this is basically just, it's a waterproofer, okay, and no doubt it'll just put a bit of softness back into this leather. Okay, it'll also help with the, the cordage that I used, the cordage here that I used to sew up onto this, sew the sheath up, is waxed anyway. It's got like a wax over it, and that will last for years anyway. It doesn't really need any additional waterproofing. It's waterproofed on its own. And the leather will soak this up nicely. But it will get in, this waterproofing will get into where, in between where the stitching has gone anyway, so that will also help to waterproof. So what we want to potentially do is the sheath will help to protect the blade from water to some degree, not, it won't 100% waterproof it, but it will just help to keep the elements off the actual blade itself, which is always a good thing. And we need the sheath on to protect our body from the sharp, from the blade, okay? We've got to have that on there. Okay, it's health and safety. All right, you got to make sure you got something on there to protect yourself with from the blade. This will put a little bit of colour back into the leather too. This one I'm using at the moment is just a, it's a neutral, the neutral one, and it doesn't really effectively make it too dark or too anything else. It's just neutral, sort of just revitalizes the leather and waterproofs it. Okay, so that is pretty much it. It's pretty much a done deal right there. Okay, all I'm going to do now is I suppose I could, I could put some on the inside, but it's not, it's not really necessary. I'll put a little bit in there. Technically it will help to protect the blade. I suppose it'll constantly give the blade a bit of a layer of waterproofing. So I might just use my little finger to get into there. It can't hurt it. go. That'll do it. Alright, so I've given it a bit of a coat on the inside as well, just for good luck, good measures. Alrighty, and so that's what she's looking like on the inside. And I've gone right down into there with the little finger, and that's what she's looking like on the outside. Okay, so I'll just spin this around a bit. So that's what she's looking like now. Alright, so I'm actually quite happy with that. Anyway, all good. And what I'll do now is I'll just put back the, I'll come back shortly and I'll put back the protector on it. I might even give this a bit of extra dubbing on it. It hasn't had any on it for a while, just to help it soak in. And I'll be back shortly. This is what it's looking like now in the other holder that I've now painted. Okay, for those that were watching the other video, they might have seen this one. Okay, and then the next step is to put it actually on the webbing. Okay, so welcome back. This is what I've come up with. I've decided to put it on the side of the webbing. I had to change out a couple of pouches. So initially I had 2 single double pouches, okay, ammo pouches, but I've had to swap it out for an old one of mine, an M16 pouch. I don't know, these M16 pouches, they always just seem to end up coming back. They're so good. Anyway, here's what she looks like. So for those that were watching the Viper Maglite holder closed, this is what she looks like in the end. And for those watching the modification on the Woods Chogan sheath, that's what she's looking like there on the actual webbing. So it's just a simple matter of being a closed holder here. We just open it up and just pull it straight out, and of course we have our Chogan on us. Okay, the sheath can just go into a pocket. Okay, put it somewhere safe so you won't lose it, and when you're finished with it you can just put it back on. Okay, and she just slides straight back in like so. Alright, and then we can clip it back up again. It's that easy. Okay, so I ended up deciding to put it on the front here. It was sort of getting a little bit in the way as I put it back a little bit further here, especially with my cups, canteen and water bottle pouch over here. I didn't want this, the hammer part here on the Chogan constantly hitting my water bottle, stainless steel water bottle, because it just makes too much noise and there's always the potential chance for damaging it. Okay, so it's ended up here. Yeah, there is probably a little bit of a risk with it being so close to the stomach area for bending down, but I can't reach it. But falling down a hill or something like that, yeah, I suppose there is a little bit of a risk there, but it does have the sheath on it. You know, I'm sort of limited to places where I can put it, ensuring that I have the rest of my equipment, and I only carry equipment on here on the webbing that's what I would class as important, really important. Okay, and to some extent vital. So yeah, I can't take this pouch off because that's where the ammo goes. At the end of the day, it has to be there. Otherwise, it would have been nice just a little bit further around to my side. But each person carries their gear differently. Everybody has different gear that they take out and things like that. So this is just how I'm going to do it with my Chogan. But I'm happy with this. I'm extremely happy that it's easily accessible, it's easily put away. I think it's moderately safe now that I have this the sheath on it, just on the front here, and with the other part of the sheath, quite possibly I might attach this to my pack. I might sew some molly onto it. I'm going to have a bit of a look at that, and I may end up attaching this to the pack anyway. I don't know. There's always room for improvements with things. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it's helped others out there that may have the Chogan or even the Whittlings axe. And there's another one out there, the Gransford Brooks forest axe. Okay, I would assume that this here would probably fit those as well, this Viper pouch. So I don't know, you'd have to try it out. But if it does, if any of you do get the Viper Maglite holder, and you do try it out with the Whittlings axe or the Bransford Brook forest axe, by all means post it below, so that others, we can help others out. So it's all about sharing the knowledge and saving money as we get our gear and prep for whatever you're prepping for. Okay, whether it's camping, hiking, whatever. Okay, it just makes it easier and faster for people to get their gear up to speed. Okay, so thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.